Are you garbage?
We're going to take this one nice and slow.
Sure.
Give us start with the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Hit us.
Jersey. South Jersey.
South
kid.
Jersey.
Well, we'll start in West Philly.
Ah, right. Right.
So start from the beginning. Mom, Dad had me when they were 19. Garbage.
It's not classy.
Do you want to do the little checks?
Shishing.
Dad split when I was 3, or I think was asked to leave. And then he
Big
was like,
difference.
he was like, okay. And then he went to Florida.
Were they married? Did they get married?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember the divorce being messy necessarily. I think it was just kind of a quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he went to Florida, I think in a few months after that, came back, married that I now understand is an older lady. At the time, it didn't seem... Well, you know, my dad was old to me, but he was probably 23 or 4.
Yeah.
And my first stepmother was like 40
Whoa.
already, and a mother of like twin teenage boys and a redhead teenage boy, which is hilarious. No one's redhead in that family.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned something the other day that always struck me as weird. My dad has not spent enough time with me or doesn't know me well enough to have ever really hit me. I think he gave me like a very soft face, like push almost once, but that's it. Dude, he used to like give her kids like the spoon. Like, and you have to hear him go upstairs and hear like that sound, like the T, 1,000 S's and a T, like the tss, tss, because they were just
Joe
getting
Jackson.
zipped by my dad in the air. It was so bizarre. 13-year-old twin boys getting spanked on the ass with a spoon by my dad. Not their dad.
Not their dad, your
my
dad.
A guy that's 10 years older than them?
Yeah.
And he's also 10 years old.
That's just like a fair fight at that point.
You asked me for money yesterday. This is bullshit.
Their real dad, by the way, was like a Texas like cowboy hat guy. It was so weird. And then just to give that side of the story of the dad, and then when I was, well, actually, I'll say that my mom. I was with my mom. My grandparents had me a lot of the time.
In West Philly.
Yeah.
This is still in West Philly.
Yep.
It's just you and your mom.
Me and my mom but my grandparents were like super involved. Like,
Right.
They lived a couple blocks away always. They would take me when my mom was, my mom had to work.
What's that side of the
Jobs.
family? Italian, Irish? What are
That's
they?
the Jewish.
They're Jewish.
Yeah, that's all the Jewish side.
Okay.
So-
Practicing?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. My mom couldn't wait to get like Christmas fucked into our household.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's not Jewish. My stepfather is the furthest thing from Jewish. He's but so was my grandparents and my mom. My grandfather died when I was 10. But like even then, most of the time, even when my step pop first came around, my mom started dating my step pop. When that's a fun story of the night they met. Great one actually.
Lay it on us.
My mom met my step pop at. I love that you guys are from Philly too. They met at Carney's. That used to be. It's right in Ballackinwood.
Ballackinwood.
I think now it's like an urgent care center. The place, but it was right across from like, where like Channel 10 is and
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's like right on that corner there. The old Adams Mark Hotel and shit.
Yeah, the New York Life building is over there, too.
It's right there. It was a place called Carney. It was a nightclub, and my mom brought my step pop home that night. I was at my grandmother's.
Back to West Philly.
Oh, in West Philly, yeah. I was at my grandmother's, and my mom, a couple blocks away at our place, brought my to-be stepfather home for the night to fuck.
I don't think they were going to play Parcheesi.
For sure.
It wasn't to look at your trophies.
So my mom used to, she like dated over time, like, and dated is a loose word. Like she hooked up with a couple cops. Not like
She was
that
a single mom. She was
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah, young, too. You got to
Yeah.
think early 20s probably, right?
She wasn't getting gangbanged like that chinless bitch from that one police station.
I think she gets a bad rap, too, by the way.
Me too.
Yeah.
They should have come down on her.
Who cares?
Nothing wrong with that.
She shouldn't have
She
whined.
looks
They
like
shouldn't have
me,
complained.
dude.
I'll have one of those cops' wives got word of it and was just like, we're exposing this whole
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
She made you do that because she's a whore.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom would like, I thought they were just friends. I always thought it was kind of cool that a guy was coming in with like a gun belt to our house and shit. And then it was like, hey, hit the sack. So
Give you a shot of NyQuil.
one
send
guy,
you
my
upstairs.
mom, and again, she'll say they were just friends. Sure. Let's say it's fine. It's true. But one of them, what they did was Dave, very blonde guy, tall, always they had the mustaches.
Sure.
His thing was he would shine the light into the top. We were on the top floor of a duplex apartment. He'd shine it into our window, and that was the sign that
I'm coming over.
it's like when the doorbell rings or whatever, it's me.
Gotcha.
So they would just be on shift, and they would come over literally in like I don't know if I was awake, nothing, but who knows? Christ knows what happened in the middle of the night. But he would shine that light, and that means he's coming. And then so he did that night, and my mom had my step-pop up there. Oh. So she just what's funny was when the doorbell rang, she just ignored it because it was like, well, I'll just act like I'm asleep or I'm not here, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. He'll go. It's like not like a big deal.
Cops don't go away.
Yeah.
No, he did go. Not only that, he never rang the doorbell. He did that apparently and got a call or something and couldn't come up. And this isn't cell phones where you could let her know. He just he just took off. The doorbell still rang because my mom went on a date with a guy my mom was funny too for being Jewish. Even like her Jewish friend. That's why I never understood until I moved to New York. When I moved to New York, it's the first time I saw Jews where I went, oh, like that's what they mean.
Sure.
My mom, like friends were like backyard, like biker parties type thing. You know what I mean? That's what it was more that. It was more that. You know what I mean? Like weird, like Philly people that were into country.
Sure.
That weird, that subculture.
Yeah.
And she met a guy at one of those barbecues named Ron.
It's always a Ron.
Oh, yeah.
Ron or Randy.
Floating around.
She went on a date with Ron. I don't think it worked out. She wasn't that into it or whatever. But Ron apparently was an alcoholic. And by chance, after that guy flashed the window, Ron just decided to show up and start ringing the doorbell at 2 a.m. or whatever. So he's ringing the doorbell, but he's not stopping ringing it. And they're almost like, that's kind of weird. Like my mom says, like, oh, it's a friend of mine who was going to come over, the cop. She's like, but I'll just ignore it. Then they hear a window smash, and the guy punched through one of the little,
square windows,
opened the thing, came upstairs. My step-pop is hilarious. So funny. He's a genius. He's an academic and also a power lifter and more personality of that than like a guy who's book smart.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
And thank God he was like cool and because he didn't beat the shit out of the guy. They literally like wrapped up his wounds and called an ambulance. And so I hope she at least sucked him off or something after that.
Yeah.
Like something. Because what was
he deserves it.
And it's just, this is always so funny. This is the first meeting of my stepfather, my longtime stepfather, who I love. He's my family. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing, he might as well be a father to me for sure. But our first meeting was me and my friend John stayed at my grandmom's the night before, came home the next day, and the first thing we see, windows smashed out. And then, I mean, a soupy trail of blood going up, 3 flights of steps. Sure. And then I opened my front door, which was always weirdly kind of open. My mom's not there. It's my step-pop wearing a button-down shirt with like a wife beater underneath, so you can see he's like muscular and stuff. Ripping a Newport, sitting in his pleated jeans on my couch, and he goes, "Hey,
how you doing,
a
little
trail
buddy?
of blood just left of that." I'm like, "What?
Did you just kill everybody in here, dude? This is like fucking first 48.
I've been waiting on you, kiddo.
Yeah, you're the last one I gotta get.
No witnesses.
Go get your grandparents, will you?
Yeah, just look. This is the face you're gonna want revenge on in 20 years." But that was my first.
Hey, big guy, how you doing?
Yeah, he goes, "Hey, champ."
What do you think of the Eagles this year, huh?
Who's that comfortable in a crime scene? Just to fucking hang out and rip heaters?
Oh, shit. So goddamn fun. That was my first meeting with him. So my step-pop comes in to the picture when I was like 10 or 11.
They get married.
Well, come on, dude. What's the show called? She got pregnant. Had a child.
Okay.
When the child was like 2, they got married. No, maybe even like 1.
Are you at this wedding and involved in this wedding?
Why could it be? It was in Susan's backyard.
It was next door. It'd be weird if I wasn't.
Yeah.
You're looking at your bedroom window.
I was bringing the ziti. Of course was I there.
Oh, man, they got wrapped scallops. This is bullshit.
It's in Susan's backyard.
It was in Susan's backyard.
Why wouldn't that be? Me and Susan are tight.
Yeah.
Susan loves me.
Yeah, as far as I know, me and Susan have no issues.
Hey, we got a problem. You could have said something.
So,
Well, listen. Okay.
So yeah, my brother was born. They got married, and then for the next, I guess, what was it, 8 years? Yeah, for the next like 8 years, it was every 4 she'd have another kid. So it's my 2 sisters.
Okay.
So, and I'm 11 years older than my brother, 15 than my sister, and 19 than my other sister. And I was just kind of in-house.
I
Like,
have 10 and 16 years older. Yeah.
So what's your youngest sibling? Step sibling?
she's
6 months.
half siblings, but they're she's 25.
25.
I think.
Did you guys stay in that house?
Or 26 by now. So
Because you move to every
that's-
dirtbag who gets a couple of bucks crosses the bridge,
So my mother
moves to South Jersey.
Well,
What did he do,
My
by the
grandfather
way?
passed away when I was almost 10, and he was big. That was a big one for me. And then what's just so funny is, though, even with my step pop being around, this is what I always find so funny. My step pop was around. He's a guy. He was a great male influence in so many ways. He brought dirty comedy in my life. He brought, like the guys talking shit kind of
Sure.
element of it
Mhm.
and stuff. But it was so funny that he still didn't bring, like, masculinity in the sense of, like, if you were like, hey, change these brakes. I'm like, if you gave me all the equipment, I couldn't change brakes. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Spark plug where it goes. I remember my dad
I'm
when
the
I was
same
young.
way.
I'd go to see him. He would always be so disappointed. He's like, "We're going AutoZone. I'm getting these." I remember him explaining to me split fire spark plugs.
Mhm.
He was like, "You see, because it's the split fire, so it's got 2 sparks, so it burns the gas more." I'm like, "I don't. You're
Yeah,
trying,
whatever,
you're trying to
dude.
do this now, bro." Yeah, I'm like, "I'm here for the weekend."
Really trying to cram a lot in today, huh?
Have you seen Gallagher's new special? Huh? Relate to me.
Yeah, know what I like, you weirdo.
So what did Ron do? What did your stepdad do?
They patched him up and
No.
just-
What did
Oh, he's back.
Oh,
to
Joe,
crime.
Joe.
Joe? I'm sorry. What does he do for a living?
So when he met my mom, while he's a super smart guy, he was essentially like a coke guy. Not then. He went to the Navy to get off coke. He was probably like a year removed from the Navy.
Was he Italian? I picture
Italian,
I
yeah.
picture like a fucking.
Oh yeah, Italian, and he's and he was he worked at GNC and like worked out and like compete in like powerlifting contests.
Working at a GNC in Philly.
He worked at a GNC Granite Run Mall. We'd have to go pick him up because he also didn't have a car. But I was like,
But also, like, you got to zoom out. Your mom's young, right?
Yeah.
They're in their
she's
30s, 20s.
She's
It's just-
29.
Yeah, it's like, that's not that crazy.
No,
Someone
no,
trying to
it-
get it together.
She was what most of my young life. My mom just worked in retail, and then one of them. I don't know why this didn't dawn on me most of my life until now. Because they're like, "Where did she work in retail?" Oh, like whatever store. I was like, "No, it's funny. Like she did know her thing. We were broke, and she had a fat kid, and my mom became like. At first, when I was a little kid, she worked at Smalls Formal Wear, renting tuxedos,
Okay.
and then I would be the little model at the fashion shows they had to go to." Which I do have pictures of. I'll be happy to send you guys those.
As you see, this tuxedo pairs well with a chain wallet. You're welcome.
So, and then
Good for second marriages and court dates.
and then when she saw it was going to be a husky child, she became like a manager at Casual Male Big and Tall.
No way.
Yeah. So then,
I'm going to have to clothe this animal. I can't be buying husky clothes on my salary.
so it was whatever it was, OP, a lot of Ocean Pacific.
Oh, shout out
I
to
was a
it,
big
man.
OP kid myself, buddy.
So they, and my mom, so when my grandfather passed away, she kind of like promised that she was going to do like more. So she went back to, she went to Philadelphia Community College, got
Respect.
her associates for respiratory therapy.
Okay.
Which pretty if I didn't do before I figured out I wanted to try to do comedy, I was literally just going to do that because this is my thought of respiratory therapy. It's a noble job. It's a very important job.
Sure.
It's a major important job in emergency rooms and hospitals and everything, and it makes good money. And you only got to go to school for 2 years. So my mom was just kind of finishing that up when she met my stepfather. And then she got pregnant, and they're going to have the kid, and they're going to get married. And my step-pop just kind of had like he's so smart. He was like, oh, man, I got to figure something out. He goes, hey, Terry, what do you do again? And he's like, respiratory therapy. He goes, yeah, I guess I'll just do that. And he just went to Philadelphia Community College and just aced it. He like finished early, and they like Roxborough Hospital said they'll pay for his second year if he like
Committed
promises
or
to
whatever,
work there for a
Wow.
couple years. I think he still works. Yeah, he's still at Roxborough Hospital. He's like
Holy
the head of whatever
shit.
there. But like, and still also then he comes home and like throws chains on the end of like a barbell that's got a bunch of weight on it. It's just so funny. It's so.
Is he still in good shape?
I mean, for his age, he's like in his 60s now. Yeah, he's still like strong as shit for sure.
Old man.
And when did you guys move out to? When did they move to Jersey?
When my step pop, probably about 2 years after they were both working steadily as respiratory therapists, it was like, yeah. Well, our first upgrade was we moved across the street into a row home instead of top of the duplex.
Gotcha.
Same block, few houses down.
That's awesome.
Which I thought I was like, this is wow. We got cable.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
You look at the old house like, tuh.
Yeah.
Dirt
What
bags.
garbage living in an apartment.